December 14, 2012. A cold winter morning turned into one of the darkest days of Barack Obama's presidency. Inside the Oval Office, the president sat still as a storm of whispers filled the room. Advisors rushed in with urgent reports, each update more unbearable than the last. A gunman had entered Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. 20 children, babies in the eyes of their parents, and 6 educators had been murdered in their classrooms. The leader of the free world lowered his head, his hand covering his face. For a man who had navigated economic collapse, wars overseas, and relentless political battles, nothing had prepared him for this. He was not just a president at that moment. He was a father. Sasha and Malia were the same age as those children. And the thought tore through his heart like a blade. When he finally stood before the nation, the world saw a different Barack Obama. Gone was the calm, unshakable figure who inspired millions with hope and optimism. In his place stood a man trembling under the weight of grief. His voice cracked as he spoke. His lips quivered. Tears streamed down his face. He struggled to find words, pausing as if each sentence cost him strength he barely had left. They had their entire lives ahead of them, he whispered, his voice breaking. Birthdays, graduations, weddings. The silence that followed was deafening. For one of the only times in history, America watched its president cry. Behind the cameras, the atmosphere in the White House was heavy with sorrow. Some aides sobbed openly. Others stared blankly, unable to comprehend the loss. Obama sat in the Roosevelt Room, his shoulders slumped, whispering to those around him, I can't understand how this keeps happening. That night, he avoided the usual briefings. He went upstairs to the private residence, where he held Michelle tightly and kissed his daughters goodnight, silently thanking God for their safety. Yet the thought of parents in Connecticut who would never again tuck in their children haunted him. In the days that followed, grief transformed into determination. Obama vowed to fight for gun control with more passion than ever before. He demanded stronger background checks, restrictions on deadly weapons, and new safety measures. But every step met resistance. Lobbyists pushed back. Congress refused to act. Each defeat cut deep, as if Sandy Hook's voices were echoing in his ears. Years later, near the end of his presidency, he returned to the fight once more. Standing before families of victims, Obama again broke down in tears. His words trembled as he confessed, every time I think about those kids, it gets me mad. The audience rose in applause, but he knew inside the battle was far from won. That December day never truly ended for Barack Obama. It was the moment his presidency collided with his humanity, when the power of his office could not heal the wound in his heart.
Whose inspiring story of politician would you like to hear next? Tell us in the comments below.